Hello and welcome to another First Impressions video brought to you by MMO Play. Today we're taking a look at a free-to-play game. It's a MOBA, multiplayer online battle arena. It's called Battle for Graxia. You can get it over on Steam. Taking a look at the interface here, it's going to be similar to other games people have probably seen. You got Dota, Dota 2, League of Legends, Han. Tons of MOBAs coming out nowadays. Seems to be the genre of the year. It seems like it's a genre that's up and coming. It's getting really popular. Probably a lot due to the popularity of League of Legends, the huge prize pool in the tournaments, the popularity of it on streaming. But overall, it's a genre that you don't have to just compare it all. Only everyone has their own little twist. This game involves a progression system, so there are some tweaks and bonuses you can earn outside of game. And this is a free-to-play game, which means there are microtransactions. It looks like you can buy some of these items. You can accelerate your progression to get them a little bit faster. But let's get into the game itself. I did do the tutorial a little bit just to kind of get an understanding of it, and then skipped ahead. You can see, like League of Legends, you do have to unlock characters. You can either do it through in-game currency and playing, or you can do premium currency microtransactions. I'm going to go ahead and do a 1 versus 1 PvE match. Skip the tutorial, you probably don't want to see that. And just to see how the mechanics of this game compare to your other more popular MOBAs, you know, your League, your Dota, that kind of thing. So let's check it out. Alright, here we go. I got a PvE match. It can be 1 versus 1. You can do 3 versus bots too. I tend to think that MOBAs are actually games that are quite difficult, and you do need some practice for you. You have to get good enough. I don't want to subject new teammates while I'm trying to learn the game. I prefer ranged characters, and I also tend to prefer mages, which you've probably seen in our previous videos. So I'm going to go with her. She looks like she's kind of there. She looks like she's a crowd control favored DPS character. You can see suggested items, so you can kind of have items you can go towards. And unlike Dota 2, where you have to have a specific recipe, you have certain items you buy and that turn into the upgrades. This one, you can just buy their items and then upgrade them. There's 3 tiers. Also, you can buy 5 potions, and you have 2 different slots for each of them. I tend to, right now, just going with cheap mana and cheap health potions, but there are better ones, too, you could have bought. And they stack up to 5. You can see all of the items on your bottom left. You earn 10 gold as a tick. I don't know if it's the second or whatnot. You also earn 30 gold for last hitting, so this is like Dota 2. Last hitting is important, which means you're going to have a lot of people just kind of running in circles, trying not to hit, and then you're going to smack the guy at the very end. Unlike Dota 2, it's a lot more ability heavy. It seems like I regenerate my mana really fast, so I actually use my abilities a lot more often than I did in Dota. Last time I played Dota, I played a few games as Zeus, and he was actually one of the characters that was kind of reliant on using abilities, but even then, he didn't use too many of them. You see, we do have the creeps, we have the towers. 1 versus 1, you got just one straight line, pretty straightforward and simple. The creeps do seem to want to come after me, even though they got other creeps on them, so they don't automatically aggro. I didn't see an ability to deny, but I didn't try it too often. And you would figure I have a ranged DPS, which means I should be able to harass the other player, well, the bot, but they have an attack that's actually really good. It hits me, if all 3 of the attacks hit me, which you can dodge me if you're fast, but if they all hit me, they can bring you down to like quarter health. So I actually had a really hard time harassing her, doing damage to her. Also, since she bought her boots early, unlike me, I didn't. I was actually completely ignoring the recommended and did stupid stuff from my item progression. She could run away from me. Another little difficult thing about the game. But it's a lot more streamlined than Dota. Dota's a really hard game. I didn't play too much League, but from what I've seen, League's a little bit more forgiving on that. The micro still in these games is a lot harder than you think it is. A lot of newer players think the game is really easy, but especially the concept of last hitting and, at least in Dota 2, denying adds a ton of APM to the game. There's that ability you should just use. You can see how hard it hit me. I have an ability similar, but it doesn't hit nearly as hard. I also have a stun and immobilize, and then I have an AoE root. And then you have a once per battle ability, which I didn't know was once per battle. I thought it was my ultimate. No, it's your like ultimate. And I didn't even kill her with it, so I completely wasted it. And then you have your ulti that's on a timer and tons of mana and does really good stuff. It's a huge AoE, pretty good damage, and I think it does a snare too. You can see we're focusing the tower right now. You have, I believe, 2 towers, and then you start working on the other opponent's base. There also are neutral creeps that stand still. You can see in the little camps on the top left, bottom right. And I'm trying to get last hits in. I'm trying to judge my attack speed, how much damage I do. I was also trying to deny there, it didn't work. And I'm trying to also stay at range with her, because if I can harass her, I can keep her off the line, I can keep her from getting extra gold. Although getting the 10 gold a tick instead of the 1 like you do in Dota, means you can actually get quite... Oh, there's my ultimate. That's the once per battle ability. I got tons of money off of it, but I didn't kill her. But it means it's really hard to kind of deny gold. It's basically, I kill a guy, get 3 ticks. Compare that to Dota 2. You get 1 gold a second, or 40 to 60 gold for a last hit. So it seems like this game's a little bit more forgiving when it comes to needing to last hit. So if you're newer to MOBAs and you're interested in kind of getting used to the style of gameplay, I would recommend a more casual game like this before jumping straight into League or Dota 2. Another option would be Smite, but Smite is a little bit different. It's actually third person instead of the isometric view. You can see right here I'm kind of making my mistakes on buying those 2 of the cloaks. You actually have to upgrade it. You don't just buy the level 2 version. You can see the back of our base too. We have those 3 spots, and then the main building. When that goes down, you die. When the buildings in front of it go down, they get super creeps, which are really strong. We're actually going to skip forward and look at the end of the game. I will spoil it right now, say I lost, because this is my first game, and you can see I'm screwing up my buying order. Respawn timer's pretty forgiving too. The longest respawn I saw was 30 seconds. You don't have to worry about picking stats instead of skill points as a way of balancing your character out. You can just level up all your skills eventually. Obviously, you want to focus on the ones you want to use the most, but... And with getting a lot more mana regen, you can see how fast my mana is actually regenning. And right now I'm trying to get a lion. I'm trying to hit him with my ultimate, because I can kill all the guys and possibly get him really low, but... It's going to be really hard right here. They got super creeps, and I lost all my special buildings, so this is pretty much it. Click the game, check it out. It's a free-to-play game. It's called Battle for Graxia. It's not the first game these guys have developed. They've actually worked on other RPGs and MOBAs before. Click the content, stay tuned to more videos from MMO Play. Thanks for watching. There's a bunch of gold. Too little, too late.